Graham, a 5-1 win over Salford City. Could you have asked for a better Christmas present than that?
Well, I couldn't, no, to be honest. And we talked, obviously, since Saturday, and we just talked after Saturday's game down at Aldershot that we've had big performances, but haven't had big results really. Where we should have maybe done better at Orient, Newport here. So to get the performance and the results like fantastic in such a, it's like fantastic crowd like in it and everything. It had everything really.
How key was it for you to make a fast start, getting the lead after 2 minutes and then doubling up on 25?
I don't know really, because when you look at that, look at what you've seen today. I mean, they're a good side and still are a good side. So in some ways it's hard to put it in perspective, but you go 1, 2, 3, probably 3 just before half time. The third one from Brad sort of made everything that bit easier. That sounds greedy, but that's how it felt really. I think we'd had Ebbsfleet here, was it Ebbsfleet early on in the season, and we didn't want to go through that. But no matter what, come the start of the second half, Graham Alexander quite well, like in so much as I know what he would have been going on, and they changed things and players are popping up like gambling. So it was a strange 10 minutes, but we got the players to deal with it really. I mean, we all know the basis of this team is the backbone of the team, and they always give you a platform to go and win the game, and that's what they've done again today, even though obviously other people get the plaudits.
You've mentioned on Saturday after Aldershot your frustration that you couldn't find the net. What was it that's clicked for you this afternoon, do you feel?
Clinical finishing really, but I think that frustration was the fact that we knew we were the superior team that day, particularly second half. I've looked back at it and it's another one of those games where you probably played better than you thought you did. But it's taken the emotion out of the results, and it's sometimes you don't really want to take the emotion out today because obviously it's such a big win for the dressing room and for the people who paid to come and watch us.
It appeared that you were really frustrating Salford as well. They were beginning to make a few more errors as the game seemed to go on. Is that how you felt?
Yeah, I think that's what we've become. I think we've realised what our strengths are. But that doesn't mean to say we don't play any football in between. But, one or two players have hit sort of the best form today, which is always great. And that's what we asked for. I just basically told them to set the handbrake off, really. And that's what they've done.
Manager to pay to make big decisions. You bring on Ben Tollett, you bring on Chris Holroyd, both substitutes, getting a goal. That must have been really pleasing for you. Yeah,
it was great, but I mean, part of it was tactical. I mean, Stuart Benham had done ever so well, but wasn't feeling that well. He's got his sinuses are blocked and that, but you wouldn't think so to see him play. So substitutes obviously now a big part of the modern game, and when that pays off like it did, it's all the better, isn't it?
And a word on Ben making his debut today. A big game to make your debut in, but he seemed like he never wanted to stop running.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'd only seen a bit of him, but speaking to the staff and that, and you look back at his clips, he showed everything today that you see in him, and it was nice to see that. He was full of confidence, wasn't he? And it was good to see, really. He was, typical wide player, but obviously looks like he's got a goal, because when Chrissy scored, he was in there, wasn't he? So that's credit to him. So that's great to see today. That's probably one of the best debuts I've seen, somebody coming on in that situation. Fantastic.
And Salford ending the game with 10 men as well, 2 yellow cards. We mentioned the frustration, haven't we? But that perhaps epitomised it, didn't it? Yeah,
well, I mean, it wasn't that sort of game, but they were, what's the word, they were, a bit, the more and more we caught them on the break, the more frustrated they got. There was a few dodgy ones, weren't there, really? I mean, Ben got caught and just in front of us. So. And then when we look at Youngie's challenge the other week, it's like, what's going on? But that's football. So the good thing is now Youngie's back. Manny's trained and Robbo. So from a few days ago, I said to the team before, I said, look, from a few days ago, it's great to have everybody back training, which was a big lift yesterday, really.
When you took this job, you mentioned it was games like this, big crowds, big atmospheres, were the reason that you had taken it. And I guess today is a prime example. Over 8,200 in the ground supporting you today.
Yeah, I mean I knew that's what could happen here, you know, when I watched games here, and then, like I said, when I considered taking the job, I thought, you know, these big games coming up. It was something I was looking at from weeks ago with you know, as assistant manager. So to wake up this morning to be coming into this was brilliant. Like, so long may it continue, but there's a lot of hard work to be done. It's not stressful, but enjoyable as well.
You go on to Solihull and Salford again next week. Just how much of is this a statement to the sides who are looking to get onto the title this season?
I'd like to think so. All it does is make it a bit of a target, though, but which is what we've lived with. I mean, the best thing about us, we've been top, haven't we? So, you know, it's nice to be probably where we are now and to keep in there. I mean, we talked weeks ago that to stay in the race. Well, that's the best way to stay in the race, isn't it? Win games, and you know, and we talked about even Saturday about these away performances where we keep picking up points. That today just like rubber stamps it, doesn't it? That, you know, sometimes the football, because we're not on this arena away from home, it's not that great away from home, but it takes two to tango, and you know, the best thing we're doing is picking up points away from home and then coming home and playing like that.
Awesome. Cheers, Graham.
Cheers.